You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 26 of the Battle Heat Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel, and alongside me, as always, Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I know it was a tough loss last night, but I don't care, Danny. I think this Heat are still the best team in the
Oh,
East. I
no, don't
know.
do that. No, don't do
Absolutely,
that. We
absolutely.
can't do that after that. Look at
Absolutely,
this.
you can.
Look at
Absolutely,
this.
they had a
No, you
tough
can't.
shooting night. But I still think the Heat are the best team in the East. No matter that they lost
I
last
agree.
night, we're gonna break it down though. We're gonna break it down.
All right. Well, my voice is a little hoarse, so I apologize. Both Solana and I were at the Inter Miami game last night. I didn't watch the Heat game live. I doubt you did also because we were at the stadium. So I kind of knew the result before I actually got to watch it. So it kind of kills the vibes. But when you see the final score and then you watch the game, you're like, how the hell did this become the final score? What the hell? They were down by 20 with 6 minutes left. They were down by 15 with 3 minutes left. I'm watching this game right after the fact. I'm watching it not live. And I see 15 minutes, 15 points with 3 minutes left. And I'm thinking, like, I started getting a little excited. I was like, what's about to happen? Because for them to lose by 3 and it's still a 15-point game, I was like, how did they get it this close? Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell was a pit bull. He got a bunch of very timely steals. The team was just, and then Detroit started turning the ball over. It was an exciting end to the game. A nice little attempt at a comeback that fell short. And I think I don't want to do this. And I'm going to give you a couple reasons why. I don't want to kill Tyler Herro. He just got back. I think he's an easy target. Everybody kills Tyler Herro. So I wanted to avoid this. And another reason, and this is a personal reason, and I've been talking to Solana about it over the last couple of weeks. My son has just started getting into basketball. Like, and he's like really getting into it. Like on his Christmas list, he put, I want Tyler Herro cards. Like he has become obsessed with Tyler Herro for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because he's white. I don't know what it is. But he's obsessed with Tyler Herro. He's like the best three-point shooter on the team in the video game. So like he's obsessed with him. And I'm really starting to hate the fact that he's going to be the guy that is like the villain because he came back and all of a sudden we're having trouble with the offense. And I have to say it, defensively, he is a tremendous liability. And it showed last night.
He was the only one in the starting lineup with a negative plus minus, Danny. He was negative 18.
And
But
it
he
was a
still put up
crazy negative.
Yeah, he still put up 24 points and 4 rebounds. Look, I don't think that you can solely blame Tyler Herro for what's going on over the last few games in terms of the Heat's pace, right? We know that the Heat were number
No.
one in pace, and since Tyler came back, we've gone down a little bit. But I don't think you can solely place the blame on him. I think this is a collective blame on the team because it's not just Tyler Herro that has to figure it out. Everybody has to figure out what to do now that Tyler Herro is back. Norman Powell played, I thought, a decent game, 28 points, had a plus 15 on the plus minus. Andrew Wiggins is the sole reason that the Heat were in the game anyways, because they would have been down by 30, 35 points in the first half if it wasn't for Andrew Wiggins. He had a fantastic first half. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Danny. I don't think you can blame Tyler Herro for what's going on, but he can take a little bit of the blame.
Well, I blame him defensively because he is very frustrating to watch. They're looking for him. They're putting him in the pick and roll situations where he has to take on Cade because they're trying to hide Cade Cunningham. They have Davion Mitchell on Cade Cunningham, and they are looking for Tyler Herro. His man is the one setting the pick to put him in those situations. And what frustrated me the most yesterday is I told you I was very excited to watch those last 3 minutes. I was like, we're down 15 and there's 3 minutes left. What the hell? At one point, they got it down to 2. And when they get it down to 2, Cade Cunningham brings the ball up. Davion Mitchell is obviously on him. And then I forgot who was Tyler Herro was defending, but he's the pick. He's the one that sets the pick to kind of get Cade on Tyler. And then this is Tyler Herro. He picks up the assignment. Cade Cunningham goes into the paint. And look at Tyler Herro. His hands are literally by his side. How could you defend this way?
Yeah, you gotta have your hands up. Gotta have your hands up.
What was it Mark Jackson used to say? Hand down, man down. Like how? Like this picture. Like when I was watching the video, I was like, I have to play that back. I have to play. No way he did that, and I had to play it back, and I played it back again. I took a screenshot. I was like, what are you doing? Who plays defense this way? Like I get it. You could be a bad defender. That's fine. There's tons of bad defenders or people that just don't want to play defense. But to do that, like I get it. You're trying not to foul, but dude, like at least throw your arms up like this, like horizontally. Put them and reach them backwards just to look like you're giving some type of effort. But like it looks like a soccer player in the box
But that
trying
could
to
also
prevent the
be
handball.
on Spo's defensive tactics as well, because the Heat like to switch on almost everything. But maybe at some points in the game you don't want to switch Davion Mitchell off of whoever he's guarding, even if they try to set a pick, try to go over it or try to bring another guy. So I think Spo's gonna take a look at that and he'll fix that. I think Spo is smart enough to fix that, but he's got to figure something out, because yes, people are starting to basically go pick on Tyler Herro defensively because they know that he lacks the defensive prowess that the rest of the five starters have or four starters have.
But I think that's the issue, though, because the defense was looking decent when Tyler Hero wasn't out there. So I think it's a detriment to the team where it's like, all right, Tyler Hero is here. Now we got to figure something out to make sure that we can protect him defensively. And I think that's a detriment to the team when everybody plays well enough defensively, and then when Tyler's on the court, okay, let's figure out how we can help him out. And I felt like that a little bit about Khalil Wear for a while this season, because whenever he was on the court, they had to go zone. It felt like, okay, if Khalil Wear is out there, they have to go zone. Tyler Hero, it was this play. This play is what really frustrated me. And look, look how far he is. Cade Cunningham had the most comfortable of shots, hand down, man down. Like it just, if this is what Tyler Hero is gonna kind of give you effort wise defensively, teams coming in are gonna know that. They're gonna know that this is what you're gonna see with Tyler Hero's out there, and they're gonna keep looking for him. Like you got to give some type of effort.
Yeah, we said we weren't going to do it, Danny, and we did it anyway.
I did it. I know. I know.
Do it, and we did it anyways.
Shout out to my
But let
son
me tell you,
because he's
one
a
of
big
the
Tyler Hero
things
fan. I don't want to do it, but
I hear you. But one of the things that frustrated me was the fact that an ex-player comes back to Miami and ends up putting up a great game, right? Duncan Robinson had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 18 big points, right? And he was a plus 17. He had the best plus minus on the Detroit Pistons yesterday. And that's what frustrates me, right? Somebody that that is going to get those shots up. And we should have known. We should have been tighter on him around the arc. We shouldn't have allowed him to get those looks that he got. And that's what frustrates me, right? The fact that we know who this player is and what he does, and he anyways did it to us when we could have stopped it, in any way. Because Cade Cunningham is going to get his. Tobias Harris is going to get his. But for the Detroit Pistons, it's who's going to be that third person. And yesterday it was Duncan Robinson, and he was huge for the Pistons. And at the end of the day, I think he is the major reason, not Cade Cunningham, why the Detroit Pistons won yesterday.
Cade Cunningham had a lot to do with it, especially when he had Tyler on him. But again,
I mean, they also shot 60%. They shot 42.3 on threes.
But look, threes. We one of the reasons that our offense has been suffering.
Yeah, we shot close to 50%.
Right, because we were shooting horribly from three, and everybody's like, "Oh, Tyler Hero, look, we're only scoring 106 points." No, we had a lot of open opportunities. We just weren't hitting those threes. Fontecchio came back to earth. He didn't even play last night. Nico looked horrible yesterday, and there was a bad pass where he turned the ball over, and he doesn't full force go try to catch up to the guy that's about to like dunk the ball or whatever. But one thing that I noticed when that happened and he starts tracking back kind of to act like he's being defensive, he does this. He dropped his head. And we had this conversation a couple weeks ago after the Portland game, because the Portland game is the game that he balled out. And everybody from Spo to Powell, like, yeah, we always have to talk to Nico. We have to encourage him because he gets down on himself. And I told you after that game, I don't like that, because mental toughness is very necessary, and confidence, that short-term memory in basketball. And he seems like he doesn't have that. And that went bad, and that's it. It's like a downhill effect. And right now he's in his own head. And I don't know what he needs to do to get out of it, but it's a funk, and it's going to be very hard for him to get out of if he's not mentally strong. He needs to be seeing some type of sports psychologist, I'm assuming, because he's going to have a really rough go if this is the way he's going to be playing, and if he's going to be getting down on himself. Because when I saw that, when he threw that, and then instead of tracking back, trying to get a block or something, he just threw his head down. I was like, oh, that's this guy. This guy right now is not in his right mode.
I got a better idea than getting a psychologist. Just have Udonis Haslam send him texts like every other day. because it works for Khalil Wear.
Well said, Solana. I love that. Yes, that is the secret recipe. We gotta get. Can somebody make sure that they clip this and send it to Udonis? Clip this, send this, and tag Udonis and let him know, because this is what Nico needs. He needs that text message from Udonis.
Yeah, and I think look, Nico is coming back from an injury too. So yesterday was his first minutes after he comes back from his injury. Obviously, you put him against one of the top teams in the East in the game. And look,
The
I didn't
top team.
expect. No, I still think the Heat are the best team, and I'm going to get a lot of flack in the comments. We already get pushback in the comments from people who say that I'm too biased, that I'm crazy. But hey, that's what it is to be a Heat fan. You got to believe. And
A
I
lot of people
believe.
were getting into the Jimmy debate, whether he should be retired or not.
I
jersey.
saw that. I saw that in the comments. And I love that. Continue to write comments to us. Both Danny and I love to come back after the show and read the comments and kind of reply back to some of you folks. So definitely like, subscribe, comment, so we can get back to you. But yeah, man, people were going at it with some people were for retiring 22, and some people were saying heck no. But what do you guys? What should be the question today? I think we should ask. What do you think the Heat should do with Tyler Herro? Do you think Tyler Herro is, I don't want to say solely responsible, but is he partially responsible for what's going on? The Heat only put up 88 shots last night, Danny. I think that's a season low, or one of the lowest that we've seen. They're normally in the high 90s, low hundreds.
Yeah.
But yesterday only 88 shots. So let's make that the question of the day. Do you think Tyler Herro, and comment down below if you think he's solely responsible for what's been going on with the Heat the last couple weeks?
Dude, he came back, and this is the first game we lose. Like, we can't put too much on him. Like, we've been winning. We've been finding ways to win.
I got to throw it out there.
Let me tell you something. I thought about this, right? And again, I'm gonna just sidetrack 1 second, then we'll get back to it. Like, my son, right? He's 6 years old. He's just getting into basketball. As a father, you always imagine like what that's going to be like, having a little sports fan. He's finally getting into it. He's like, for some reason, all in on Tyler Herro. I don't know if it's in the game. He has a headband. Whatever the reason is, he's got into Tyler Herro. He asked for his jersey for Christmas, all that. If he gets traded, like, what do I do? Like, hey, I've been trying to push the Bam thing. Like, hey, no, Bam is the best player. Bam, play with Bam. He's like, nah, I like Tyler Herro. And I'm like, oh my God, man, I need Tyler Herro to sign an extension. I'm sorry, guys. Selfishly, I need my son to keep liking the Heat and liking basketball, because I don't know what's going to happen if he gets traded away.
Happened to me with Jimmy Butler, man. My son loved Jimmy Butler. He had the 22. And as soon as he got traded, he's only 4. He didn't understand. I was like, he doesn't play for the Heat anymore. He goes, why? What happened? I said, well, they traded him to the Warriors. And he's like, well, I'm a Warriors fan. And I said, what?
That's my fear. That's my fear.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. And so what I did was I just continued to push the Heat, and I took him to events, and I take him to games. And look, now he loves Davion Mitchell. He loves Khalil Wear. He loves Bam Adebayo. But hey, the one thing that we haven't talked about, Danny, and I know we're going to wrap up soon, was the fact that Triple J, Jaime Jaquez Jr., didn't play last night. And I think that was a big deal, right? Because he, so far, in my opinion, has been probably the leading candidate for Sixth Man of the Year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And he's been so important to this Heat team off the bench, being the first person off the bench. Exactly. And he wasn't there to lead the second unit last night. So, again, that's why I think, although the Heat lost last night, and look, it wasn't as close as what the final scoreline says.
Jalen wasn't playing for them.
Yeah, but I think Jaime Jaquez, being the possible Sixth Man of the Year, the front runner right now through 20 games, I think having him not there is a bigger loss than Jalen Duren not playing for the Detroit Pistons.
Tobias Harris had a big game.
Yeah.
Are you looking? And obviously, we love Spo. I trust Spo. I would. When I say things that I would do if I was him, it's just out of my ass, right? I trust Spo. He's the best of all time. But at what point do you consider starting Khalil Wear and Bam, or putting them together a little more? Because Khalil Wear only played 22 minutes last night. When Tobias Harris is killing you, and you got Isaiah Stewart out there also, 2 big bodies, like, at what point do you consider having Khalil Wear out there more often with Bam? Because he's going small, and I get it. He likes to go small. But, like, when you have – recently, Khalil Wear looks like he might be one of the best big men in the league, right? And I know it's a small sample size, right? But he looks that way. At what point do we try to tap into that to see if it is that? Like, we got to give him more minutes. Only 22 minutes is a crime. Like, Jovic had 10. take Nico's 10 minutes away and give him all to Wear. Like, I don't know. I'm surprised that we're not seeing it more often. The way he was playing recently, he had a 3-game streak where he had 20 rebounds, 3 games in a row, and then yesterday he gets 22 minutes and he gets 12 points, 6 from 9 from the field, 7 rebounds, 3 offensive boards. I need to see Khalil Wear out there more often.
Yeah, it's close to 24 and 14 if you do it at 48 minutes, right? Because he only played 22. So, I mean, yeah, he's shown that he can be dominant in the minutes that he's played for the Heat. And I agree, Danny. I think he should get some more minutes. I would love to see him get in the high 20s, low 30s, especially against some of these other teams with big bodies. Like you said, we could have used Bam on Tobias Harris. Tobias was just pulling up on Norman Powell, was pulling up on Tyler Herro, and he was 3, 4, 5 inches bigger than both of them. So, I agree with you. I would love to see more of the Bam Khalil Wear instead of staggering them like Spo has done so far this season. I think the Heat would, maybe they're not as fast, maybe they wouldn't be as fast, but they would be a lot more efficient on the defensive glass and on the offensive glass as well, and that could help out and get us some more shots.
I didn't realize that this graphic was so light. You can barely see it. But so after last night, we're 20 games into the season, which was that magic number we talked about so much. After 20 games, we said if they're 10-10, they're going to be top 4 in the East. Go back. We're only 26 episodes in. Go back. Episode number like 4 or 5, we started saying it. And we're going to keep saying it. We ended up above 10-10. We ended up 3 games better, 13-7. We're going to be top 4. And go look. We're 4th already. We're behind New York, Toronto, and Detroit. We don't believe in New York. Toronto looks good, but I don't believe that they're going to stick around at the top 2 all season long either. I think Miami has a good chance of ending up top 3, which would be great. We have the Clippers coming up this Monday. We have the Clippers on Monday. Then we have Dallas at Dallas on Wednesday, and then Orlando on Friday. And then we finish off Sacramento on Saturday before the NBA Cup. How are you feeling? Because this week, these are all winnable games coming up against the Clippers, which are in a really bad run. They're 5-15, I believe. They're doing really, really bad. So we have the Clippers. We should be able to beat them at home. We have Dallas, which is trash. We should be able to beat them. Then we have Orlando, which I don't know what that game's going to look like because we play them again for the Cup a couple of days later, and it's the first game of a back-to-back. And then Sacramento on Saturday, which we should be able to beat also. How are you feeling? Because this week with these 4 opponents coming up should be a week where we see them finally be able to like figure things out. Like, all right, I know any given night anybody can win, but like these are softer opponents. So let's see how Tyler Herro looks, and let's figure this defensive thing out. Let's see if we can get Khalil Wear and Bam out there together. Because when you have a schedule like this for this week, this is the time to figure shit out before things get real again.
Look, man, I'm feeling good. I know I said last episode we were going to go 5-0 in the next 5 games. Clearly, I was wrong. We're 0-1 so far. But I feel good, man. It brought me back down to earth a little bit. You brought me back down to earth.
You're still saying that we're number. I told you. Cleveland, I don't know, maybe. And then Detroit. I said I needed to see them against Detroit. And look, we can't say we're the best in the East.
Absolutely, we are. No doubt. So look, I feel good going into these next few games, but like we talked about, when we did the advanced episode on the Heat, advancing in the NBA Cup, if they were to win every single game, that would be like 8 or 9 in a row at this point. And again, I don't know.
If they were to win the Cup, it'd be 14.
Right, I think it would be that's a little bit too much to ask for this Heat team. I don't think we're there yet. Maybe towards the end of the season, we'll be at that point where we can win 10, 12 games in a row. But I think we'll definitely go over 500 over the next few games. But again, my point right now is not really so much winning some of these games. It's focusing on winning that NBA Cup, making sure that we can beat Orlando in Orlando when we play them, getting to Vegas and playing whoever we have to face up in that other matchup, and getting to that NBA Cup final. That's what my focus is on over the next couple weeks. I'm not putting that much importance on these next few games.
No, me either. But we're looking good. We're a top 4 team in the East. Book it. We're gonna have a home court advantage in the first round, and we'll be back on. We play on Monday.
Tuesday.
We'll be back Tuesday morning to talk about the Clippers. So if you're listening on audio, please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll be back on Tuesday. So enjoy your weekend, and until the next one, have a good one.